Hello and welcome to another episode of It Crept from the 80s. Today's episode is going to be once again, not really about the 80s. We'll get back to that, folks. But I wanted to do a 4K collection video. I have a small 4K collection. It's not vast by any means, but I have been asked before which 4Ks do I have, which 4Ks do I want, what am I looking forward to. So I figured I would, go ahead and show you the 4K discs that I do have. I wasn't much like Blu Ray when that first came out. It took me a little bit to be sold on the upgrade from DVD to Blu Ray and then from Blu Ray to 4K. DVD to Blu Ray was definitely more of a jump in quality. And with the Blu Ray to 4K, I had to see specific films for me to sort of get excited about the technology. I have found, and certainly I know other 4K UHD enthusiasts have found, that the older films benefit far more to 4K than the newer films, because quite honestly, the newer stuff, it's negligible for sure. You got to be one of those real, tech nerds to sort of look for those specific things that are like, certainly more so with like I said, the newer films that are coming out. They both look pretty great. But I'm at a point now where any of the new films that I really enjoy, as far as the bigger franchises are concerned, or things that I think particularly look amazing, I will buy 4K. I'm not one of those people who plan to completely redo their collection in 4K, because some movies I just don't care if they get an upgrade. Some movies they don't need to be, as far as I'm concerned. You're not going to see me getting like a 4K version of, Bachelor Party or Airplane or whatever, because it just, it's fine. But, let's say Dune, the Dune Blu-ray or the Dune 4K. At this point, these types of movies, I'm just going to get the 4K, because damn, I'm also not a person who, my collection is what I want, what I specifically like. If there's a new movie, I will not just blind buy if I haven't seen it. I will rent it first, whether it be from Amazon Prime for $4.99, or if I'll do the Redbox and just get a Blu-ray and rent it that way, before I say, okay, I want to own that. I like that enough for me to own. Certainly go into the theater and whatnot. But I don't just collect to show off a collection. That is not me. I think it's a huge waste of space and money. And, there's lots of people out there who have vast collections and they have never watched the films. And that's That's just not me. So, I am going to show you primarily what I have decided to upgrade on, or they were gifts. Some of these were gifts, and they just got them, I think, because for some reason, like, say the 4K was $19.99, while the Blu-ray was still like $25 or something like that. So as gifts for either Christmas or my birthday or whatever it is, I was gifted some of these in a Blu-ray format. I mean, in a 4K format. I necessarily wouldn't have gotten those films in 4K. Maybe because like I liked the movie, but I don't need the 4K of it. The Blu-ray is just fine, and I will talk about those specific movies. Some of these are really just, I've talked to 4K connoisseurs and friends who happen to upgrade or things like that, and I'll say, hey, how does this look? How does this movie look? Because I don't know if I want to jump the 4K when the Blu-ray is perfectly fine. Is it that much of a difference? And if people that I trust give me the, oh, you gots to go 4K, then I'll go 4K with it. And I'm usually pleasantly surprised. So we'll talk about that too. This is, look at this. So like Terminator Dark Fate, this was a gift. I wouldn't have necessarily gotten the 4K of this. Blu-ray is fine. I didn't hate the movie. I was entertained. And, maybe somewhere down the road I might end up selling this or trading it for something. Because in the Terminator canon, it's not something that I would have like run out and collected myself or bought myself. So that's that. I mean, it does look amazing, but I think the Blu-ray probably looks amazing as well. Here's one that I saw got a lot of hate, but I was quite impressed. This is the Total Recall 4K, and I bought this because I love the film, and I have never been 100% impressed with the picture of this film, and that's just whatever it is. The people who are putting it together might have a certain print, and that print is just it is what it is, and that's what they have to work with. But for me, I think the 4K is pretty damn good. I am not a grain hater. Grain is supposed to be there. It's just you gotta have the right people behind the transfer, the conversion, the meticulous shit that they have to do to enhance for 4K and really give that proper master. Anyway, so I quite enjoyed the upgrade of this. Also, I go by two things. I have the 4K TV upstairs in the living room, as well as in my wife's game room. We have 65-inch 4Ks in both rooms. And then I have a 128-inch screen with a 4K projector, an Epson 3800, and I sort of do both. I check out the discs on both, and if they impress me on both, good. That's good by me. And some of these releases, the picture might be not as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but boy, does the sound mix blow me away. So, anyway, Total Recall worked for me. To each their own, I suppose. This is The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. the 4K set. I have that, and I have yet to dip in to this set. This was newly gifted to me over Christmas. But I am looking forward to checking it out because I am a fan of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Big time. You want to know my Spider-Man thoughts? There's 3 videos down on the channel where I talk about it. This is not a good movie to me. Transformers: The Last Night. I don't think it's very good. But the 4K is pretty bitchin'. And again, this was gifted to me. I would not have bought this. But I checked it out, and holy shit. And the IMAX scenes, you know, I really like when the companies do that, when they include the IMAX shot scenes from films. And the aspect ratio goes from like 235 to, you know, IMAX wide. And it's insane on these screens, on these big projectors. It's dope. So, I mean, you know, visually, it's great, but the movie is a no-go. So, you know, that one, I don't know if I'll keep that around just for those visuals. I'm not that guy. I could free up space and put something in there that I like. Okay, here are the upgraded Hellboy 1 and 2. Now, this was I love the movies so much. I love these 2 movies. And this was me just buying them. And quite frankly, I didn't notice too much of a difference. But whatever. I have them now in 4K. The Blu-rays are also there. This is how I'm going to see them. So, you know. This does look fantastic. This is a newer release. Of course, I was going to get it immediately. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. I love Kaiju. This movie was dope. Really fun. And it looks stunning. Here's the thing. I am a physical media person, and I'm always going to be a physical media person. I'm not one of those people who got rid of everything and wants to just go, you know, download a 4K version of this, that, and the other thing. I know, and I've seen it with my own deuce eyes, the difference when watching a 4K streaming or a 4K physical disc. And the 4K physical disc beats out the streaming every single time. Streaming is good and it's nice, but it's not as good as the physical disc. And case in point, now I did go to IMAX with my son to see this when this opened up, but then I showed, my wife and I watched it on HBO Max, and it, you know, it looked good, but then I popped this in, and this looks way better. It's just, yeah, that's just how I am. And that's how it is with these as well. I will say that having the 4K release of this, it does look better than the Blu-ray. Certainly in all of those night shots. And there's so much. They really try to hide Godzilla and the kaiju action that's happening in this film. But the 4K kind of makes up for the mistakes of the Blu-ray. And this just looks great. So, you know, but I do feel they finally got it right. Adam Wingard finally was like, no, let's see these monsters in the fucking daylight. Let's see them do stuff where you can actually see them. And Godzilla vs. Kong is the best out of the bunch as far as the Godzilla movies are concerned. They did it right with Skull Island. Kong Skull Island. Which I am actually shocked that I do not have the 4K of that, because that movie is also phenomenal. And but the Blu-ray looks great too. Alien looks superb on 4K. You know, a lot of these companies, like Fox, Warner Brothers, I know, they really, you know, some of them really take their time and do a superb job. So, Alien is one of those. Alita Battle Angel. I love this movie. I love the original short anime. A bunch of us used to watch the anime in the 90s. But I love this version. Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron. And I knew when we saw this in theaters that, oh shit, I need to own this the best I can see it. And it's beautiful. So is the 3D. This also does 3D, and I have quite a few 3D movies and glasses as well still for this setup. And it's pretty rad. Of course, the Back to the Future trilogy on Blu-ray, or as I like to say, the Back to the Future duo 1 and 2, because I do not like 3. Ever since theaters, I have not liked 3. So 1 and 2 all the way. These do look fantastic. There's one bit in the first Back to the Future that I don't know what happened with this restoration, but there is one bit where it gets a little funky picture-wise. And I you know, I don't know what was happening in that for that or whatever, but it doesn't like change the fact that they did a great job with this set. Also, E.T. E.T. looks good, 4K. This is a great set, and I love this movie. So that looks good. Ooh. This set looks fabulous in 4K. All three of them. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark and whatchamacallit there. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade look the best, which is kind of a bummer because Temple of Doom has always been my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And but overall, the set looks fantastic. Got to have that. These movies are wonderful. And once again, when you see movies like this in the theaters and how they affect you and the visual style and everything, you just sort of know how you want them in your home setup. So when these became available for 4K, I got them anyway because I knew at some point I would upgrade. It had the Blu-rays, so for a while I watched the Blu-rays, and then when I switched everything over to 4K, I could watch them in 4K, and it worked. It mattered. There was a difference, and they're beautiful films as far as I'm concerned. These three are examples of how good the 4K can be. This is Rambo 1, 2, and 3. First Blood Part 2, and Rambo 3. These are some of the best looking 4K old school releases as far as I'm concerned. When I popped these in for the first time, I was like, holy shit. Like, wow. Such, you know, they work their magic. And, damn. That's a Lionsgate. Same as those John Wicks. Now these, of course, these were actually all gifts at different points when they came out. And again, I think, like, this was for Christmas. And like I said, movies that are like this, these franchise movies, the big movies that I really enjoy, I want them on 4K anyway. Um, so I got Black Widow. When this came out, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I didn't even have 4K yet, but it was gifted to me. But then when I got the 4K stuff, I checked it out. Fantastic. Again, it's modern. It's going to look amazing. Same with Black Panther. I didn't have 4K yet, but this is the one that I got. This is so, you know, again, the modern stuff is always going to look crispy good, minty fresh for the most part. This beautiful, beautiful set. Oh my God. Second Sight Films, you hurt me. With this Dawn of the Dead set, you guys outdid yourselves. This is, you know, really, as far as I'm concerned, the definitive Dawn of the Dead set. And it's wondrous. And the movie looks gorgeous. The best it's ever looked. And I'm so happy with this set. The theatrical version will always be the version of Dawn of the Dead, as far as I'm concerned. Huzzah, though. Again, saw this in theaters. It was lush and beautiful, and I knew I wanted it on 4K. So it was given to me on 4K. Candyman, the new one. Fantastic sequel. This one, I gotta be honest, I bought this because I wanted the upgrade, because the Blu-rays and the DVDs previously owning this film, they've never looked that great. And still, you know, I mean, it seems like this is the best we're gonna get. The quality isn't always the greatest with this, and I don't know if it's a print that they're working with or what the deal is, but I love the film, and this 4K is the best we're gonna get, I would assume. So I gotta live with that. This, I was disappointed. I am an unabashed fan of Ticks since renting it on VHS when it first came out. I was like, holy shit, they went and put Ticks on 4K. Alright. I gotta get it because I love it. I felt the Blu-ray was really good, and I did have the Blu-ray. But I figured I would upgrade, and also because there's the special features, the making of the film and all of that stuff, and I am a special features junkie. I love featurettes, I love documentaries, I love the behind the scenes minutia of all that shit, so that was worth it anyway. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the transfer. There's some blown out shit in this version, and it just doesn't look that good. I'm happy that the Blu-ray is there as well. You put the Blu-ray in as opposed to the 4K. The Blu-ray wins out for me. But at least I still have it, and I have those features. But the 4K just was kind of a bummer for me. Tremors 4K from Arrow. This set, the movie has never looked better as far as I'm concerned. I've watched it both upstairs and down here, and it's beautiful. Yeah, you know, I mean, again, the older stuff is going to benefit much more than the newer stuff. This is amazing. This is the Vinegar Syndrome Scanner Cop and Scanner Cop 2 in 4K. This was gifted to me by my friend Sean Pinkerton. But I gotta tell you, I would have gotten these films anyway because I was a Scanner Cop and Scanner Cop 2 fan from the VHS days. I rented them all the time. I even had Scanner Cop 2 posters on my wall from the video store. I am a fan, so I would have gotten them anyway. I don't know if I would have gotten them on 4K, but I gotta tell you, I've never seen these movies look better. It's insane how good they look. So kudos, Vinegar Syndrome. You know, you usually scrape the bottom of the barrel to hoodwink your fans for movies, to buy your products with some of the shittiest, garbagey shit out there that no one really wants. They just want it because they want to put it into their collection, and maybe ADD, I don't know, but OCD, I would say. But this one is a score. This one is actually really good. And, you know, this one is great just for all the special features you got together. I was really bummed that I missed out on the Vice Academy set that you had a while ago. Bummed about that, Vinegar Syndrome. Every now and again you have a gem. Man, mostly it's garbage. This one, Gremlins, 4K. I love the movie. I wanted to upgrade. It's good. It's hit and miss. There's some scenes that are just like, oh, wow, this looks great. And then there's some scenes that, it's about Blu Ray. So either way, it's fine. I love the film. I got it 4K, and that's the way it is. Now this is the Snipes Blu Ray. However, I have the Arrow 4K in there as well. This I got because someone was selling just the 4K discs themselves from certain Arrow sets for like $14 on eBay. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get that because Demons is one of my favorite films, and whoo boy, it looks great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. 4K, even Blu-ray, but 4K that much more. You can see all the latex effects and where the lines are, and and all the bits and bobs of special effects and everything, but that's okay. I love it. It's part of the charm for me. Whereas the old VHS days, it was kind of muddy, so you couldn't really tell all that stuff, but I like it. I love that you can see the magic behind it all. And but I think it looks fantastic. Ooh. This is The Fog on 4K. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I say. Gorgeous. This is the Studio Canal version. It's got different extras and all that shit. But yeah, John Carpenter. Really, any of John Carpenter, they come out in 4K, I'm probably going to get it. He's my favorite horror director. I love Dean Cundey's shooting. I love his cinematography. I just love the way John Carpenter's movies look in general. And if I can get them on 4K, I'm going to. Case in point, The Thing. Great job. Great job. I still have, the Scream Factory. And I'm going to keep this because of all the extras and all of that. But I think the 4K transfer is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Same with Scream Factory's They Live. I think this is the best the movie has ever looked. This is another one that I've watched both screens. Mwah. Ooh, this is another example of, wow, they really, I don't know how many times I've owned Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And what more can you do to them, really? And this was a case of me asking around, talking to other like-minded folk who happened to have the 4K, and I wanted their honest opinion. And everyone across the board was like, do it. Do it. And I did put it in, and I was not disappointed. Great. Great. HDR. Mwah. The colors, sumptuous. More detail. Hell yeah. Same with Pet Sematary. I was pleasantly surprised with this Pet Sematary release. Love the movie. So it was like, fuck yeah, man. I'll get it. Again, the older films benefit so much. Now this, Blue Underground, William Lustig loves to re-release, all 5 movies that he has several times over, and this is one of them, Maniac. The grain is there, but the grain should be there. It's prominent, and I love how prominent it is. Some of these releases, what it's like and what I've described to people is like, what if you're seeing the first 35mm print of the film that you've ever seen? You're in a theater, it's the first one going. That's the look I get for some of these releases. And it's, I love it. I think they did a hell of a job with Maniac. Next we have Beetlejuice. Best that's ever looked, as far as I'm concerned. I was really looking at the colors of this one. Great. Same with the Goonies. Lots of people didn't like this release. I thought it was pretty damn good. I don't know. But, to each their own. I will not watch this any other way. I loved this release. I thought this one looked fantastic. Again, this was one of those, this is like I'm watching it in the movie theater for the first time type of print, Karate Kid. Someone definitely wax-oned and wax-offed this release. No DNR, but it was a nice release. Batman Begins. The best this movie has ever looked. This is my favorite of the Nolan films. I do not like The Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises. They're not Batman films to me. And this is the most Batman out of those 3 films as far as I'm concerned. This was dope. What are you doing over there, butthead? Anyway, and it looks great. This 4K looks great. Again, HDR. Woo! Those blacks are black. Blacker than night. Blacker than pitch. Blacker than the foulest witch. Blacker than Wesley Snipes. Snipes black. Great transfer. I just got this. Checked it out. Really good transfer. Clear, crisp, vibrant. Detail is great. Colors are great. Yeah. Scott Pilgrim. Another one that I loved that looks very, very like a film print. Stand By Me. This one's gorgeous. This one just feels of the time. Just with the way that it's shot, the color palette, all of that. It's like it's jumping off the summertime is jumping off the screen to me, and I'm prancing around with the Ingalls, running down a field of daisies. I can smell it. Or I'm with these guys and I'm going to try to find a dead body, to be heroes. Another movie I really love. This is the 4K of Hocus Pocus. Great Halloween film. I'm really looking forward to Hocus Pocus 2 this October. Yeah, I've owned this several ways as well. And this is the best it's ever going to look. So, rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? I love this film. You're probably like, what the fuck? Again, to each their own. I don't care what you like. You shouldn't care what I like. Who cares? I dig this film a lot. I also own it in 3D. 3D was fantastic. But this 4K I just got for Christmas. And I popped it in and washed it down here. And it's Sumptuous! This movie is just gorgeous in general. But again, it's modern. It's a franchise or big tentpole film. So I got to have it in 4K, and I'm glad I do. I've seen this in IMAX. Also Disney Plus with their IMAX format in their streaming 4K. But I popped this disc in, and this 4K blows it out of the water. This is gorgeous, folks. This film is amazing. I love it. Fantastic. It's great. Shang-Chi. 4K. It ain't gonna get any better, you know what I'm saying? Okay. These are the 4K release of Halloween and Halloween 4. I will get Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and Halloween 5, and that is it. Those first 5 movies, and 5 only really because it's a continuation of 4. But I will say Halloween has always looked kick-ass as far as presentations are concerned on home video, as far as I'm concerned. This is the best that's going to look for me. I'm not going to go. There's nowhere else to go. This is it, folks. So I have this, but I loved the way Part 4 looked. So happy with it. Thank you, Scream Factory. Now get on those Nightmare on Elm Street releases, huh? Let's get that going. Oh! These are 2 of the most awesome older 4K releases I have in the collection. Batman and Batman Returns. Warner Brothers, as they should, treated these releases like gold. These are stunning. Both 65-inch 4K and 128 screen projector 4K. God damn, they did a great job on these releases. And these are my favorite Batman to date. Have always been my favorite. Love them. Michael Keaton is and forever will be the Dark Knight as far as I'm concerned. They look great. Speaking of great, and I saw people not really dig this either, but I loved it. The Lord of the Rings transfers on 4K. They did a lot of fucking work on this. And I know there's some DNR here and there throughout, but there is a waxy, otherworldly quality to these films in general. Not as bad as the Hobbit films, thankfully, as far as the look of the Hobbit films. But, you know, my wife and I watched the extended editions every year. And this year we had the 4K to watch. And they look wonderful. They really do. And I'm very happy with that. Another divisive film, but I love it. And I was super excited to get this because I wanted it in 4K because I love the movie so much. Again, I have it in 3D, Blu Ray, and it's so great to watch in 3D. But I popped this thing in Christmas night. I got it for Christmas, and I popped it in that night just to check it out, and I love what they did. The 4K is awesome. This is a beautiful film. I think it's a kick-ass prequel. I do not like Alien Covenant at all, but this one's where it's at. And again, my opinion, you know, you do you. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna enjoy this. Another flick that I love to death is Cabin in the Woods. This was a gift. This was gifted to me by Sean Pinkerton, 4K upgrade. So of course I'm going to take it because I love the film. I have yet to check out the transfer, but I will. This I knew right away I was going to get in 4K. The Invisible Man. I picked this up when it was available for home video. Went to see it in the theater. It was the last movie I saw when the pandemic hit in theaters. And it's a beautiful, beautiful looking film. And it's just a kick-ass film. Invisible Man. Love it. You knew this was an instant upgrade for me. Wesley Snipes, the original Blade. This movie looks awesome. I love it. I love 1 and 2. 2 I love more. I know people are like, what? 2 is so dumb. 2 is so bad. No, 2 fucking rocks. But this is, you know, right up there. Really, 1998, folks. Truly the start of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as Marvel cinema. Not the cinematic universe, but Marvel films in the cinema. This truly is the first modern magic blockbuster Marvel characters going to screen. I love it, and the 4K looks great. This also has had a spotty home video journey. Predator. I have had it in every version it's been available. VHS, DVD, special edition DVD, Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray. I still have the 3D Blu-ray. And the 4K. The last Blu-ray release that came out was the Mr. Waxy Predator. They DNR'd that shit like crazy. Everybody looked like wax figures. That one was so glaringly blunt and in your face that they did some shit to it. So when I heard that with the 4K they actually corrected it and it's back to how it should be, had to get it, and they were right. It looks great. The grain is there, the detail is there, the colors are there, and as far as I'm concerned, they did a great job. The Predator, again, I like what I like, and I liked the Predator. It looks beautiful, modern shot Predator. It looks great. This is the 35th anniversary edition of Labyrinth 4K. Again, I popped it in, and it's the best Labyrinth has ever looked. Love that the grain is still present, but the colors are still there. There's more detail in certain scenes. I wish I could have. There's when I was watching this, I was like, ooh, that looks different. But anyway, great release. And even for the 4K release, they put even more special features than they did the last release on Blu-ray. I'm very happy with it. This is another movie that people seem to hate, but I love. I think it's really entertaining. It's fast. It's by a director that I really enjoy, Luc Besson. But this is Lucy. This movie looks beyond 4K. This movie, you know, geez, it's the future. I mean, so crisp, so clean, so beautiful. Hell yeah. This is like a reference type thing. I show this as far as modern cinema. I'll pop this in and be like, look at this. Look at that. It's blinding. Blinding you with science. Another upgrade that was great as far as I'm concerned. I saw that the upgrade was there and I enjoyed it. Starship Troopers. Paul Verhoeven is a king amongst men. Another Luc Besson, The Fifth Element on 4K. Another one that I love the upgrade. You know, the effects stand out a little bit more once you upgrade and you keep upgrading, but that's okay. The story is awesome. It's a fun science fiction ride. Another Luc Besson. This movie is gorgeous, and super fun. People don't like it, or people haven't seen it, but I really enjoyed it. Valerian. This movie is a visual masterpiece, as the back says, but I actually really enjoy this. I have also seen it in 3D when it came out in theaters, and it's awesome. The movie's, as far as I'm concerned, the movie is awesome, and it's visually insane. I'm all about that. Another awesome, super fun ride. I got this again. This I just bought because it was probably $19.99, and I was like, holy shit, that's a great price for 3D Blu-ray and 4K, but this is Pacific Rim Uprising. I adore the first one, and this one is super fun. It's not as good as the first one as far as I'm concerned, but it's still kick-ass, and they do, again, certain people know it's time to get out of the darkness and into the light, where the first Pacific Rim was a lot in the darkness to, you know, keep, I guess, CG doable price-wise, but Stephen DeKnight says, fuck that, we're going to take the Jaegers and the kaiju in the broad daylight, and that's Uprising, and it's super fun, and it looks great in 3D, and it looks great in 4K. Another movie that I love the upgrade of, and I love this film to death, I adore this film, Super 8. This movie means a lot to me for lots of reasons. I have a video down in the channel where I talk about my love of Super 8, but this is the best the movie has looked since the theater, and I saw this several times in the theater when it came out, but you knew I was going to upgrade to 4K. You knew it. Sort of in the same vein, 80s, Spielbergish, Spielberg himself, Ready Player One. The movie in 4K is stunning. I love it. I love the film. Super entertaining. Always have a great time watching this thing. And the 4K is phenomenal. So that is it so far, folks. That is my 4K physical media collection. I know it's not a lot, but it's what I got. I am looking forward to a lot of releases this year for the 4K media. And there's some stuff coming out on Blu-ray finally that I'm super excited about as well. And again, those transfers, you know, whatever. If I'm getting better than DVD on some of those, and they're only coming out on Blu-ray, then I'm going to get those. But yeah, I'm excited for the future of physical media because there's, you know, as much as people keep saying, oh, it's the death of physical media, for me, as far as I'm concerned, is never really going to go away. There's always going to be boutique companies that cater to us physical media fans, and that's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing, and I will keep supporting them as long as they keep pumping out amazing releases, you know. So there you go. Let me know about show me some of your videos. Link. You know, I'm sure you guys have some crazy 4K collections. And again, mine is meager because it's what I personally want, or want to upgrade, or was gifted. But it's not. There's no filler in there, not at all. You know, they are all gonna go. Other than the ones that I could probably get rid of because they were gifts and whatever. But everything else I collect for me, to watch, to enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Link us and subscribe if you liked it. Check out all the other videos on the channel. Hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on another erotic episode of A Crep from the 80s.